Okay, so let's see where this will take us. I am starting from as a follow-on from my previous uploaded video. If you watch that video, you may have watched that and I guess surmised that I'm going through a little bit of a rut in terms of reviewing, really, because I've been thinking all week about what should I film next, what should I review next, and it suddenly hit me today that what I was getting stuck on was doing more of the same, and really what I should be doing is the opposite. If you're familiar with Seinfeld, I'm doing a very George Costanza thing. I'm going to do the opposite. What am I on about? I'll tell you right now. I'm going to do something that I have not done in at least 5 years. For the first time in 5 years, tomorrow I will not be wearing a perfume on my skin in any form. But not only will I do it for one day, I'm going to do it for at least a week. It's basically for a few reasons, and one of those reasons is that for the last 5 years, almost compulsively, I have, and I've got evidence of this because all I have to do is go to my account on Base Notes, look at my scent of the day, and I can see I've recorded at least one scent of the day for the last 5 years, as long as I've had that account open, probably even longer. And not only that, that's at least one scent of the day, but I know for at least the last 2 years, I have every day worn at least 2 different scents. So that's like, to me, when I think about it that way, that is a lot of overload on my nose and on my skin. And that is not even before I sample anything for actually testing and reviewing. It's like stuff that I'm not actually wearing as my regular perfume that finishes off my outfit for the day. And so there's just a lot of olfactory overload, or I feel right at this moment that I'm a little bit burnt out and I basically just need a reset. And I was thinking about this afternoon and thinking I'll make a video to try and explain it, and you'll have to forgive me if I ramble because I haven't taken any notes and I've come in and thoughts are going to come to me and I'll spew them out of my mouth as they manifest in my brain about what I'm thinking. I got very excited and I haven't been able to get excited about actual perfume for a while, but I got excited about the idea of taking a week off from perfume, not smelling anything. And it all sort of makes a lot of sense to me. So there's a few reasons, okay? So I'll start off with one minor reason. Hopefully sometime this week, I'll be expecting a parcel from overseas that has some very special samples for me to smell. And I'm looking forward to smelling those for the first time with a very, I guess, cleansed palate, if you like, if you want to take sort of a culinary gourmet term, gastronomic term, and I'll have a fresh nose. I feel like I'll have a fresh nose. The other reasons, well, like I've already mentioned, I feel a bit burnt out from smelling everything. And the reason I know I am is, I've been going through this lull. So for starters, all year I've been gradually reducing my bottle collection, which wasn't an indicator to me that I was getting a little bit burnt out from perfume. But when I started this, I kind of had it in the back of my mind that at some point I would start selling bottles or start getting rid of bottles and have a little bit of regret about it. But in fact, the opposite has happened. Like, I am feeling really good about shedding a lot of these bottles that I did not love. I have had no regrets whatsoever. In fact, I'm actually really excited at the fact that I'm seeing my bottle collection shrink, and all I'm starting to see now are perfume bottles that I absolutely love. Which leads me to another point. It's not like I'm over perfume at all, because I'll give you an example. In the last couple of days, I still get excited by perfume. I've worn a couple of scents that I already own, and coincidentally, they happen to be diptyque. So one day I wore Oud Palau, and yesterday I wore, like, a long-time favorite of mine, 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain. Now, I've smelled these lots of times before, and I know what they smell like, but as I've mentioned in previous videos, sometimes you'll smell a perfume you're already familiar with, and for whatever reason, everything clicks on that day and it just smells magnificent. It has, we can talk all we like about, in certain contexts, it's all just scented water. It's not that important. It's not trivial. But yet, on days like these days, when a perfume has the ability to transform your mood, transform your psyche altogether, just because something is smelling so good on your skin and you're walking around with that cloud of beauty around you. So I still get excited about perfume that I love. That's the key thing. Now, but what's been happening recently that kind of hasn't been happening before is that, yes, I'll wear and smell those perfumes that I absolutely love. They're up here. And then everything else that I have been sampling seems to be all down here. Doesn't matter what it is, right? I used to be able to say, okay, I love this. This is pretty good. This is, okay, but not so much me, and this I don't like. Now it's just love, and everything just kind of blurs into the background, into this cloud of mediocrity. And that's unfair on those perfumes, because I know that I'm applying some unconscious bias to perfumes, that unless I love them, they're not good enough. And I kind of want to have this week of not wearing perfume to reset everything, to clear my nose, to reset the nose to brain synapses, and just like have a metaphorical week in the olfactory, wandering the olfactory desert. And that way, after a week, what I'm hoping, crossing all my fingers, is that I'll smell something and I'll realize how much I missed smelling perfume. Another minor reason is that I need to give my skin a break as well. I've never been a big clothes sprayer, because for some reason, whatever reason, I find it more difficult to smell perfume when it's sprayed onto clothes than when it's on my skin. Now, I am a creature of habit in some respects, and I tend to spray in the same spots all the time. And over the years, this kind of accumulation of perfume and alcohol, landing on those same spots of skin, has developed in very mild, I guess, contact dermatitis. Like I just get a little bit itchy in some bits, and they get a little bit red. Nothing I'm overly worried about, because I know it's kind of a chronic thing, and whenever I've given those spots a rest and I've sprayed other places, that has cleared up fine. So that's another reason. And really, what I've already talked about is the main thing is I want to get excited about reviewing perfume again, and I feel like I need to do this in order for that to happen, because Otherwise, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put up on the channel for starters if I can't get excited about reviewing, because over the last couple of weeks, I've had perfumes lined up that I'm ready to review. I've worn them enough. I've taken enough notes. And then, I've looked at my notes, I've smelled the perfumes, and I've gone, wow, I can't get excited. It's not like I'm going to tell you this is no good, it's not worth the money, or this is fantastic. I just can't seem to get excited about anything new I smell. Now, there might be a little bit of oversaturation in the perfume market, and there's been a bit of talk, especially on Instagram, that, on my Instagram feed lately, about how, there's a lot of things coming out in the perfume market now that's new. There's a lot of new houses that kind of are building on existing successful models and not coming out with anything original or exciting or new. I mean, there are obviously exceptions, but generally, I feel like I have not smelled anything exciting and original for a long time, and that's probably where I'm at. So really what it all boils down to is I'm going to give myself a break from smelling for at least a week. I don't know if I can last longer than a week. I'm not going to wear anything, so it's going to be really, really weird. I'm not going to know what to do myself. I'll feel like I'm partially naked, but I'm going to do it and see what happens when I smell something for the first time after a week. And hopefully I'll get excited. I'll get my reviewing mojo back, and I'll be back with more reviews to bore you all to sleep, or not, who knows. That's all I wanted to say. And let me know if you've been through similar things as well. Like, I'd be interested to know, when was the last time any of you had a no fragrance day where you did not deliberately smell a perfume or spray it on? Because like I said, past 5 years, even on, in lockdown COVID days where I was home all by myself, wasn't going anywhere, there was no one else around, I still wore perfume. It had just become a habit by then. So let me know. I hope I haven't bored you too much. I don't know how long this video has gone for, but thank you for joining me, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you all soon, hopefully. Bye.